Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Track D. Today is Tuesday, people-centric day, and we talk about the employees, their engagement, experience, satisfaction, and in all that, employee benefits have great part. It can be a crucial factor whether or not someone would accept a job offer, and later, whether or not employee would stay within a company. Which benefits have the strongest impact, and how to send a message that we genuinely do care about our employees. I would like to welcome Dušan Vukanović, co-founder of Benefiti, who will tell us more about this topic. Hello, Dušan. Hi.
Hello, Ružica.
How are you doing?
Great. Busy week. We are all busy, but it's always a great pleasure to participate and share insights, knowledge, experience on your event.
We're really looking forward for your presentation, so the stage is yours.
Thanks so much. So yes, I shared the screen. Good morning, everyone, and yes, once again, really great thanks to the team of HR World and the HR Week conference, which is really great event that puts together so many professionals and practitioners in the field of HR. But most importantly, it's not one point at a time, 1 week of the year. It's really like events throughout the year. So like really great pleasure to contribute once again to your content. So we are limited with time, so I'll just jump straight into my little presentation. So yes, what is our today's agenda? It's actually a deeper dive into what is the purpose of employee benefits. We talked more like we have a lot of events, we have our research, we have this kind of like top line statistics, some insights that we are getting there about benefits. But my idea today is that as the market is getting more mature, is really to get into the very essence of what is the purpose of employee benefits, and like really maybe not so many answers that I'm going to present to dear HR colleagues and professionals, but rather maybe to have initiation of some new questions for you to consider when thinking not only about employee benefits, but the overall relationship with your employees. So like yes, it is very time pressure, great time pressure. We have some 15-20 minutes, but I'm going to leave and really encourage you to come back with some questions either at the end of this session or like afterwards. You can find me on social networks. So just a little bit about me, actually, why I'm here and why Dušan Vukanović is actually talking to you on topic of benefits. I'm one of the two co-founders together with my friend and colleague Vlade. We kind of launched Benefiti.rs, which is the flexible benefit platform some 2.5 years ago. And really the journey is great. The learnings are great, and really so many great people and partners that we were kind of like getting across our way to here. So like just briefly, like it's not the point, but Benefit is the platform that provides companies opportunity to define budgets for their employees, and then employees themselves, like on monthly basis, pick and select benefits that they want to use. So like this is just kind of like where I'm coming from, and why kind of like what gives the relevance to what I'm going to talk to you today. So just two quick stories that are actually triggered some of the thinkings, and like you're going to see, like we are going to come maybe at the end of this discussion with some of the conclusions of these stories. The first one is a friend of mine who is owner of a smaller kind of like boutique IT outsourcing company with some 20 people. And recently he had an employee who quit, who just resigned and said, okay, I'm leaving for another company. A company being small, they do not have a kind of formal exit interview strategies. So like it was just a conversation between two of them. Okay, so like what was I'm just curious and like of course interested why you left me. You are leaving for another company. Is it better pay? Is it more challenging, interesting projects? And the answer was no, actually. the answer was like and actually this is very rare case that we are not seeing that much, but I just want to put this as an kind of like food for thought. The employee said like it's senior programmer. I left actually for smaller salary. It's like 200 euros smaller salary, but they had a great benefits package. And then the owner was like, okay, let's discuss that further. So what consists, what this benefit package consists of? And it was like, they have this private insurance that covers my family. They have gym membership. They have each Friday they have lunch on their job. And like there was like not that many things, but it really like the employee who was quitting was quite excited. So like at the end, like the employer, the owner said, okay, like they just did this action and said like, this private insurance cost this and that much. So like at the end, it ended up like that all the benefits that the employee kind of like counted were actually not kind of like close to these 200 euros decrease in salary that he accepted. Actually it was amount that is less than that. So like this is the first thing, and like really I want to trigger your thinking about this. What is the employee perception? So what our employees are actually thinking, because they do not necessarily know all the figures and numbers behind it. But this is very important one, about to really go into their shoes and to see how they see our company and what we are offering to them. The other short story is about assumptions. And see, actually, like a client of ours who recently we started kind of providing them with our software that actually personalizes the benefits for their employees. And like it was quite a process before we started. And the reason for that was because management was kind of pretty sure that like they needed to have one specific benefit that they had before, like usage of our platform, and that's very important one. And it really, like, it was summer holiday season, and it really took us some time to onboard that particular provider of benefits. And like it was 100 employees company, and they all of them actually, like, this was the mandatory, the core benefit that they were using. So they were kind of very firm in like pushing us to enlist these benefits so that employees would use it. And the kind of little conclusion there, like the first month when an employee had like the opportunity to pick and select among like 150 different benefits, 0 employees picked that benefit. So that's again like this assumption that we very often kind of like tend to make assumptions for our employees, for our colleagues, for our family members. It's really like once they are given the opportunity, maybe like the results would not be as we predicted. So like we're going to come back to these stories, but before we continue, like the core question is actually like it's secret formula for success, of course, that does not exist. So when to invest the first euro in benefits over the salary? So like what is the kind of minimal salary that we should where we should start investing in benefits? Actually, that boils down to $1 million, probably couple of zeros more question. So like that we often see, like talking to companies in Serbia. So should I offer employees 50 euros increase in salary, or same amount? So like it's really like for the company no difference in monetary terms what we are getting, kind of like what we are going to give to employees. So like, and the first thing is what we are seeing in the field, and it's really like psychology. It's very simple. Just imagine what employees would answer if you ask them these questions. Of course, great majority of them is going to say, I want like 50 euro salary, and I'm going to be the one to pick and select what kind of like benefits I want. And of course, like that is not going to happen. They're going to put these 50 euros to the rest of the pile, and actually to the rest of the salary, and spend it on other stuff, very rarely on benefits that we intended to provide them. And it comes back to actually Henry Ford, the father of modern industry, and actually like the automobile industry in US, who actually said if I was asked by people, if I asked people what they would like, they would said faster horses. No one would come back with idea of we needed a car. So I think that is part of kind of, again, like additional information that we are going to process at the very end to see like what is the role of HR in deciding whether or not to go toward benefits and what should be the purpose. But coming back actually like to the really kind of like putting benefits in the context of a relationship between employer and employee. First of all, benefits are fifth or sixth place, kind of like depending on demography, industry, geography, and other kind of things that are kind of dependent on who we are talking about. But mostly like employees like 2022 are coming to companies because of the work content of challenging projects. They really pick environment that they work, like their boss, their colleagues, their peers. Financial compensation, as you see, is not sometimes even among top two priorities. It is important, but not as important as kind of like selecting what we are going to work and with whom we are going to work. Also very, very important one is what we are seeing on the field is growth opportunities for professional developments. And only then we have benefits that are coming, as we say, as a spice for the main dish, because like no one would actually, there was an exemption in story number one, but very rarely employees are going to come only because of benefits or leave the company because they have some other better benefit package provided, but they are kind of like the spice for this main meal. Very practically, I know the most of you are coming from Serbia and the region of Adriatic region, actually from Slovenia to Bulgaria. What we are seeing, and actually this is maybe something to trigger your thinking, like you as an HR professionals. Do you do, once starting employee benefits program or inheriting one, having the legacy from like once you join the company, but do you do employee assessment so to see really what kind of benefits they want, what are their needs, so to align actually benefit that you want to provide them with these needs. Usually, unfortunately, it's just kind of like quick kind of like offer. Do you want, we have these 3 or 4 kind of different offers, what would you like? And actually we know that cannot satisfy the great population. Again, like maybe the core question is, are the benefits we are providing aligned with the values, not the values of the company? That's also a great misperception, but actually with values of individual employees. And of course, like no needs to discuss that one size fits all approach is not sustainable anymore. Like technology is there to actually provide this personalization. So actually, this is kind of like very frankly speaking what we are seeing on the market. Just as you see the visual, it's really I joined the company, we had a benefit. I would never kind of like unpack the whole thing and see like what was the very purpose of it. Usually companies are copying what their competitors are doing, and without putting much thinking into what is the purpose and like should we have kind of like what kind of benefits. Yes, and like what is kind of we are putting together, like really like getting great insight from our clients, from research, and really we are really very soon going to put together some kind of manifesto that we are going to address the different kind of like actions and the system that you need to put together in order to have the kind of like benefit system that should provide the value on like to all different stakeholders. First and foremost, it's hygiene factors, like talking about the competitive salary. Like without competitive salary in the industry, you should never go into discussing benefits, because that's actually really like square one for you in like thinking of benefits is really to be competitive with the salary, not to go over and beyond, but really to be within the range of what is the kind of expected salary for the specific position seniority in your industry. The second one is personalization. Again, like no need to discuss. One size fits all, or really like within 3 or 4 people would not be sustainable, not to mention companies of dozens and hundreds, thousands of employees. Additional one is this flexibility, that it's really like you can change your mind and really like we change the kind of like circumstances. You should be changing opportunity for employees to change their kind of benefit package. Additional one, like we all know what happened in the last 3 years, it's really this convenience that we now have hybrid work, we have work from home, work from anywhere, distributed work, however we call it, but actually benefits should be following that trend and being actually convenient for people who do not come that often to the office, who are actually living on kind of like village on mountain, or like traveling around, not visiting the physical premises of our company. And finally, like very, very often, something that we miss is communication. Sometimes we have great programs, but we really miss the opportunity to communicate with our employees, because it's really one of the dozens and hundreds of things on their plate, and our role as a company is really to communicate that with them. And yes, that's kind of like the previous slide, it would just kind of constitute is the kind of the foundation of something that should be kind of like contemporary, like system of benefits that provides value for employees, for company, that allows everyone to get the value that they deserve, but really going level up. And that's actually coming now to the core of the message I want to pass to you, is really the statement, like coming from psychology, that incentive theory works only if the person values the rewards. And again, like we are not talking to one average person, to one persona. Like I think that like this is the great discussion now about whether personas are kind of like overrated now that we have technology that can provide actually personalization, that we have like hundreds of employees, but not 3. Like we should not put them into boxes of kind of 2 or 3 or 4 personas. So like it is very, very important to reach out to employees and to see what are their personal values, because only then we are going to have the impact. And like that's actually like the purpose of benefits should be like really to be intersection of their personal values and like something that we as a company can offer them beyond kind of like financial compensation. Also, what we are seeing in the field, and actually like what the system is providing, and actually that's our part of our philosophy, is that 3 key categories of benefits that are like very commonly attached to the personal values are health and well-being, family, and professional development, because these are the things that we as individuals starting from us are kind of like thinking what is when we are back at home, when we are working, like it is something that is intersection of our 2 lives, of our professional and our personal life. So that's kind of key categories that we are seeing as sending the greatest message of company really caring about employees, if these benefits are coming from these categories. Again, all other stuff have their value, but discount for clothes or like coffee shops or restaurants, this is great, but it's not going to send as strong message as would these kind of benefits coming from the categories of health, family, and education. And finally, somehow to conclude, like I personally believe that the future of work is going to be about flexibility, about us as employees being able to configure kind of like the relationship that we want to have with our employers. Not only, I mean, yes, we opened the little box called benefits, but I really believe that really like all other kind of benefits, arrangement of work. Should I be working 4 days a week? Is it going to be flexible work hours? Am I going to pick and select projects that I want to work? I mean, we all see the kind of like headlines today that retention is new recruitment, that kind of like employees are now selecting companies, not vice versa. And that's why I think that the benefits are actually maybe not the critical thing, but the little thing that could help us to open the agenda of providing more flexible arrangements with employees, because offering something for them that could really like fully personalized, that it's not going to be predefined package of do you want A, B, C, or do you want A, B, and D? And this is kind of like, we call it personalization. It's not personalization. We should be providing on many different layers, but again, like maybe benefits are a good starting point to open this, open the door for this new relationship with our employees. Just close your eyes and imagine yourselves as the ones, what kind of work I want to do, what kind of arrangement, how many hours, like all this stuff that is somehow predefined and you do not have much influence and actually cannot change it. But just imagine the future, which is not that far away. Usually when we talk about this futuristic stuff, it looks like 5 to 10 years, but it's always less than that. So instead of kind of conclusion, and actually I just want to open the door, as I promised, for questions if there are any, just to conclude with Seneca's kind of great quote like 2000 years ago, but saying, yes, gift consists not in what is done or given, but rather the intention of the giver or doer. So that's why I just want to have this, to help you have this on mind when thinking about benefits. It's just not like quantity, copy paste what our others are doing, but what is our intention when we want to provide our employees with something. And that's where I would finish. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Thanks again for this opportunity to share a couple of thoughts with you. And Ružica, if you have any questions, or like if people from audience have questions, I'm here.
Yeah, we do have a question. I just first have to say that I really enjoyed the presentation and the way you talk about the importance of benefits, and that we have to take in consideration the perception of the employee, and that there should be first foundation, the strong foundation like salary, and then later build those kind of benefits. The question is, yesterday and today we do have a lot of topics on generational gap. So could you tell us a little bit more about the difference between the benefits in different generations, especially this generation Z compared to the others?
Your generation, okay. Yes. Actually, our platform is such that we allow full democracy, as we say. Like, you have 150 different benefits, you pick and select, and we see some trends. And actually, what we are seeing, like between my and your generation, I'm coming actually from X, like actually at the edge between X and Y, people who are parents, like, are more conservative and less kind of like change their options. So like they pick something and stick to it like for next 12 months, while this newer generation wants to experiment, wants to learn new things. Surprisingly, they're also open to learning, because I really believe that learning and development is, again, like in this agenda of flexibility, should also become a part of like kind of like employees selecting what their career path and like what their learning path is going to be. So what we are seeing, yes, just to answer the question, is we are seeing that Gen Z is really like very kind of like month to month, like they want to experiment with different things.
This is actually the perfect chance to invite everyone to go to the booth in HR Expo Zone and actually discover more about Benefiti and what you offer, and actually contact you and find, if they have any question, they can contact you.
Yes, we're also the Expo Zone, so that's a great opportunity. Whoever wants to schedule a meeting or like to learn more about us will be.
Yeah, sorry, in front of HR Week, I just want to have a huge thank you for the great support, the great insights you have, and I just want, just a huge thank you for everything.
Thank you, Ružica, and thanks to all, like to Neven and the whole HR Work team. So like it was my pleasure, and I guess like we are jumping to the following items on agenda.
Yeah, for everyone watching, I would just like to invite you all that to come back to main stage in 5 minutes. The sessions will continue, and I will see you later.